Hey friends, it's Sarah from Gilky's Limited Adventures, back with another video where I'm showing you essentially what I'm cooking for dinner every night of the week. I'm also going to show you some of the things I get at the grocery store and how I'm stocking up my pantry a little bit every week by spending just $20. This week is a little different because it was Thanksgiving and I'm sure we're all tired of our Thanksgiving leftovers. But I'll show you what we had and then how I used some of my leftovers to make something else. And then we got a foot of snow here in Wisconsin, so it's officially winter and I made some fun winter creations. Also, William had another sinus surgery, so there's one day we didn't make a meal. I had snacks in the waiting room and he had a Happy Meal on the drive home, but we'll check in with him to see how he is feeling after his sinus surgery. But first, let's go see what's for dinner. Here is this week's Walmart haul. It's nice and small because we actually did a quick run to Costco and picked up a few things. It's the week of Thanksgiving, so I did get some potatoes for mashed potatoes. I got some bread and some chicken broth for stuffing. I usually love powdered chicken broth, but this is what my mom always uses, so I gotta make it just like she makes it, right? I will bring you in a little bit closer and show you everything we got. I only spent $79. Okay, so here we go. I got a butternut squash because 'tis the season and I've been hungry for some squash. Some spaghetti to go with all those sauces I got last week or the week before. Potatoes for Thanksgiving, also chicken broth and dinner rolls and bread for the stuffing. Some sodas just because we get a couple sodas every week. My favorite creamer, Southern Butter Pecan. That's my favorite right now, I should say. I'm gonna make some little mini pizzas on these English muffins with some cheese and some pepperoni. Cream for William's coffee, cottage cheese, some ice cream because William has to have another sinus surgery and he wanted something cool and sweet after his surgery, so we got a couple of those, and then some cranberry sauce. So that's the grocery haul for this week, nice and small. And of course the crazy kitty. Well, it's the night before day one and we are celebrating our Thanksgiving a little bit early this year with our son. So I wanted to make some pies the day before he came. He came on a Sunday and I made these pies on Saturday night. My mom loves pumpkin. My son loves pecan. These are the two that I decided to make. Here they are right out of the oven. I think they turned out pretty well. Everybody enjoyed them. And this was a nice, easy thing to do the day before our Thanksgiving. Now, I'm not going to show you every single thing as I make it for Thanksgiving because there was so much. But here are the highlights. I had some of that fresh sweet corn that I froze this summer. My mom's famous dressing recipe, mashed potatoes and gravy. Of course, those are homemade. We had a honey baked ham and a turkey breast, green bean casserole, which is one of my favorites, deviled eggs, rolls, and of course, cranberry sauce right from a can. This was our Thanksgiving dinner, and again, we celebrated on Sunday. And my son brought his great big Newfoundland dog, and of course, he got a little bit of the Thanksgiving dinner too. This is Bjorn. If you haven't watched our channel before, he has shown up a few times. He is the sweetest big lug of a dog, and of course, he did enjoy that Thanksgiving dinner too. Look at how sweet he is. Now, we were sure to send our son home with lots of leftovers. So for us, on day number 2, we didn't have any leftover turkey. So I'm going to make another turkey breast. These are so easy to make, especially in the crock pot. It's my favorite way. It's so easy. This is one of those butterball turkey breasts. It comes wrapped up in this string. I like to just put a bunch of seasoning on it, tuck a little bit of butter up underneath that string, stick it in the crock pot, and let it cook for about 3.5 to 4 hours on high. You can change it to low and cook it slower if you want, but it works out perfectly every single time. This is just the most moist turkey breast. It's so much easier for me than making a full, huge turkey, and because we have a smaller family, we don't need all of that. Or maybe we do since we didn't have any leftovers. But anyway, this is second day turkey just to eat with our leftovers. So here it is. It's so moist inside. Now here are all our leftovers spread out on the counter. These are all cold. We're going to stick these in the microwave. I put it out and let everybody just take what they want. Of course, my son had already gone home, so it was just me and William and my mom eating these leftovers. Now, once those are heated up, I put on the turkey and, of course, the cranberry sauce. That's, I don't know, it comes from a jar, but it's still one of my favorite parts of Thanksgiving. I like the whole berry cranberry sauce from Ocean Spray, which is in Wisconsin. And we drive by these cranberry bogs every year, so of course we're a little bit proud of it. But here is our leftover Thanksgiving dinner. Now, I took that leftover turkey and I'm going to freeze it because we're only like a leftover for 1 or 2 day kind of family. So I don't want this to go bad. So I'm going to freeze it with the leftover gravy and then all of the drippings from that crock pot. And I'm going to use this for a recipe in just a few days. Between this and some lunches, we ate almost all of our leftovers, which is great because I hate to throw away any food. Now, here is how we use some of the leftovers on day 3. I'm going to make some grilled ham and cheese, and I'm going to use some of that honey baked ham that we had for Thanksgiving. Now, honey baked ham is super expensive, the kind from the actual honey baked ham store, but because I split it in 3 or 4. We get a lot of meals out of it. So even though it is expensive, since we get so many meals out of it, it does still seem like a nice holiday treat. We'll have it for Thanksgiving and then we'll have it for Christmas and maybe for New Year's. And here we're having it just on a random supper, hot ham and cheese. I also got some of these creamy dill pickle salads from Costco. This is becoming one of my new favorites. It has a great dill flavor and it has kale, cabbage, and cauliflower in it. So it's really good and crunchy and fresh tasting. I just love it. This was a nice light meal to have after having Thanksgiving dinner for a couple of days. And now we are on to day 4. And it's getting cold here in Wisconsin, so I wanted to make a fun snowman themed pizza night. Every Wednesday is our family night. We either order pizza or I make pizza or we get a take and bake. But tonight I'm going to make these fun snowman pizza on these English muffins. Now I have a cute little kitty who likes to watch me cook in the kitchen, and every once in a while she gets a little bit feisty. This is the working conditions here. And the cat jumps on your back while you're cooking. Come on, get down. I should show you guys that more often. She probably does it every other day, but it is what it is. And it always scares me. Even though she does it every day, it still scares me every time. But anyway, I'm going to make these little snowman faces. I'll speed this up, but I just use black olives like the coal, and then I used an orange pepper for the carrot nose. And these were easy. You just really have to place it however you want. I think it'd be fun for kids to help with this for sure. The only thing is when you put them in the oven, you have to be very, very careful that you don't bump into anything and knock all of your faces off. These just went in the oven for about 10 minutes or whatever it takes to melt the cheese. The English muffins give it a nice crunchy bottom. These were so good. And of course, since the salad came in a 2-pack at Costco, we're going to have it again. And that's the perfect side dish for these pizzas. I would totally recommend this salad if you haven't tried it. I just love the crunchy veggies in it, and that dill flavor makes it so fresh. Out come our little snowman pizzas, and they're just as cute as when they went in. I really hope that you guys try some of these fun recipes that I make, just because life is short. You should really just try to have fun. Now, it's Thanksgiving Day 5, but we already had our Thanksgiving dinner, so we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to start with a really delicious breakfast. I'm going to make those cinnamon Grands biscuits that puff way up when you put all the little extras on them. So I first started with these Grands biscuits, and you need these kind that roll up, okay? And then you just put a little bit of cream on. I think it was about a tablespoon per roll or so. And then I added butter and brown sugar together, melted it, stirred it together, and we're just going to top each of them with this little brown sugar mixture. And then we're going to add on a little bit of extra cinnamon on top, just a little shake. And then we're going to cover these and bake them at 350 degrees for about 35 or 40 minutes. Just double check that your rolls are done because they do get so big and puffy. They are going to be soft in the middle, but you don't want them to be doughy. Look at how big they got. These are so good because adding that cream puffs them up but makes them so tender too. And then I just use the topping from the package to add on top. You definitely don't need anything else. These are sweet and delicious and soft and yummy, and we watched the parade while we had these delicious cinnamon rolls. And now for supper, I'm going to make something a little bit lighter. I'm going to make some turkey noodle soup because William is actually having another sinus surgery the next day, and I wanted to make sure he had something good and cozy but also lighter so he didn't have a stomach full of food when he went into surgery. So we're going to make turkey noodle soup using that turkey and gravy that I put away a couple days ago. I just cut up some carrots and celery and onion and just simmered those in a little bit of butter, and then we're going to add some chicken broth or chicken bouillon and water, whatever you have, and then I added in the turkey gravy and all those drippings that I had froze a few days before. We're going to let those start to simmer, and then I added in some of those Amish noodles. Those are my favorite, but they come really long, so I had to break them up, and that's why they were on a plate. This was good. It was hearty. It was delicious, but it was light enough to have before William had to go to surgery the next day. So it was just such a cozy meal for Thanksgiving. And it was so nice because we just got to watch the parade and have a really chill day. And I ate mine with a few little goldfish on top just for fun, and they were really cute. Here we have William after his sinus surgery. How you feeling, honey?
Well, it's a little bit rough. As you can tell by my voice, they put a tube down my throat to make sure I was able to breathe all the way through the procedure. And apparently I did because I'm alive, but I don't sound like it. But I'm doing okay. I'm really grateful for all of the kind well wishes. Wow, you guys just amazed me. I told Sarah a couple times lately just how kind people are, and it really makes a difference. Makes me feel very good.
What did they do to you, and how are you feeling today?
Sure. I had what's called an inverted papilloma, which is a benign tumor, thankfully, in the upper part of my right sinus. They had to go in with a really complex procedure, work around a lot of things to take that out. It was about the size of a penny. And so I'm really swollen and numb. I have no feeling on the right side of my face yet, but that's the procedure that they did. And I'm healing up okay. I'm a little bit nauseous today, but otherwise I'm okay. My problems are small. And the cool thing is I don't have to care about fashion. I get to wear hot dog pajamas, courtesy of my sister who sent me a thoughtful care package in the mail, included these really fun sleep pants.
Now you better believe that I am going to spoil him once he got home after that surgery because, it's hard to go through those things, and I just wanted him to feel special and spoiled. So for Saturday morning, I am going to make some cute little gingerbread pancakes. These were actually so easy. I just used some pre-made pancake mix. You can make your own, or you can use any of your favorite pancake mix. For the recipe I'm making here, it was 3 cups of pancake mix and 2 cups of water. And then I added in about a 1/4 cup of that molasses, about 2 or 3 teaspoons of cinnamon, and about a teaspoon of this ground ginger. It really is to your taste. You could definitely add a little bit more in if you like it more molassesy or a little more gingery, but I just wanted to give them a light gingerbread flavor. And now I'm going to put these in a piping bag because you know me, I'm a little bit extra, and I'm going to make these extra special. I put them in this bag, and then I cut a little hole on the end because we are going to make these in the shape of gingerbread. Before I got those cooking, I did want to make a little bit of glaze. So all I did was use a little powdered sugar, a little milk, just a couple drops of vanilla. You want to have a little bit of the vanilla taste in there, but you don't want that to get brown because it just doesn't look good as a glaze. Whisk that all up, and this is a perfect glaze to use on top of these gingerbread pancakes. Now you can use a regular frying pan. I did use my griddle only because I thought it might be a little bit easier to make a few at a time. but it really doesn't matter. And then I just free-handed this. Like, they can be funny looking. It's okay. They don't have to be perfect. This is just for your family to eat, right? So I'm just made these little gingerbread shapes using this piping bag. Well, it's a great big baggie, but in my house, it's a piping bag today. These were actually not that hard. What I would say is do the arms together and then do the legs. It was just easier for me that way to make sure that they kind of stayed proportional, but really it's just for fun. And I think if you made these for your kids, they would absolutely love them. And you don't have to make them gingerbread flavored because not everyone loves that flavor. Now I'm going to decorate mine with M&Ms. So those two are cooking. I had already made a few, and I just used little mini M&Ms to make them super cute. This one's going to have blue eyes and a few little buttons, and then of course a little red smile. And how cute is this? I know that it was special and it made William already feel a little bit better from his surgery. And you can see they cook really easy, just like a regular pancake. Once these were done, I'm going to go over and decorate one more. The glaze was really easy to use too. I just spooned it over, and as soon as it hits that warm pancake, it starts to melt, and it's easy just to spread on there. And it really does look like a cute little gingerbread with some sweet glaze on him. Now I'm going to give this one green eyes. The sky is the limit really with decorating. I think it'd be so much fun for your little kids to wake up in the morning and have some gingerbread pancakes and be able to decorate themselves. And here he is. He's so cute. I made quite a few of these, and we even had some leftovers to pull out of the fridge later. Now, it just so happens that this day it also snowed 12 inches. So we had the cute little gingerbread men for breakfast as we were watching the snow fall. And then for supper, I made some grilled cheese. We had some leftover bread. We had some leftover pepperoni from our Snowman pizzas and some sauce. I got a lot of cheese in the fridge. So we're going to do something super easy and have some leftovers. We had some grilled cheese, and then I heated up that turkey noodle soup from a couple of nights ago. This was such a great, cozy, easy supper to have as we watched it snow. We ended up getting a foot of snow, and I asked everyone, do you mind if we eat in the dark and just admire this cute little winter wonderland that I made on our back deck? We got this deck just this last spring. This is our first winter with it, and it was my dream to make a little winter wonderland out there, and this was just a dream come true to see all the snow falling on it. It was just so beautiful. Thanks so much, everyone, for following along with this series. It's been fun for me to kind of show everything we've been having for dinner, get ideas from you, and hopefully give you guys some ideas too. Let me know what you're making now that it's nice and freezing cold outside. At least it is here in Wisconsin. And thanks so much for coming along. We'll see you next week.